What's up, audience members? Today, for another Rhinos and Aliens Impressions, we finally saw Rampage. I know we're late, but we wanted to get this out there because me and Danielle were very surprised about the quality, the entertainment factor, and we just wanted to let our audience members know what we thought about it, and it is, I believe, a must-see in theaters.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, okay, so...
Out of a rating, I'd give it a 7.
7?
8. I give it an 8.
I did think it was a great film. But before we get into any of that, my name is Francis Mandrala in the all purple, and to my left in the all black besides the white
strings.
Yeah, is who?
The Don Dada of all Dons. Hello.
It's good to see you, bro. I've missed you. It's been a while. We haven't been recording as much, but anyways. Okay, so
I'm here. That's all that matters.
We're talking about Rampage. This is the Warner Brothers New Line film that is starring Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock, and Naomi Harris, who is the pirate female from the Pirates of the Caribbean's film.
Yes,
She James Bond.
Witch,
yes, the witch. James Bond. She plays...
Like the assistant, but
yes,
like spy assistant.
Yeah, like she's called M or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But
she's impeccable.
She's aging like fine wine, bro.
Yes.
In her 40s, and she still looks amazing.
She's beautiful.
This is coming. This is being directed by Brad Payton. He also directed San Andreas, and he directed the second Journey film, both starring The Rock. So they're getting a little director actor duo going, which we're enjoying.
This is true.
But bro, where do you want to start non-spoilers? And then we'll quickly get into spoilers.
Non-spoilers? What you mean?
Not just like, how would you recommend this to a friend without spoiling any of the details?
Of course, I would tell them the movie, the storyline was like well put together. That wasn't bad.
Surprising for I thought they did a great job for being a video game adaptation, you know?
Yeah.
It didn't feel forced. It had a nice balance of the little story from the video game, and then also they found a way for it to make sense that we know of, because we're not scientists here.
This is true. But, I mean, other than that, it was a really put together, like, well put together storyline, and, like, even how, like, they put how, like, the chemicals came down and all that. Like, how they did that. That was pretty cool.
The acting
was pretty good.
Funny. Much funnier than I was expecting.
Yeah, definitely.
Much more violent than I think both of us were expecting.
Well, I kind of expected it to be violent. 3 big old monsters or animals.
Yes. As we were going to get into, though, bro, did you see some of that stuff occurring, though?
Like
the one scene with the female, the villain? Did you see that happening?
Nah, I didn't see that happening.
Yeah, we're going to get into that, though. Don't worry.
Didn't see that happening.
The visuals.
Visuals is pretty good. That was excellent.
Yeah. No, especially for the budget. It wasn't that high of a budget compared to other massive films nowadays, but the visuals looked amazing, especially when George was a regular-sized ape. He looked very realistic.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he definitely did. And then like when he was oversized, they didn't like make it look like it was just green. Like what is it? The green
screen?
Green screen in the background. Yeah. So that wasn't pretty bad either.
And the visuals of the destruction, the buildings.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. I think everything was like well put together so far.
That's the best way. It was. If you're a fan of just going to the movies, having some fun, popcorn entertainment, going with your family, I think this is a perfect film for that.
Yeah, definitely.
And
a date, I wouldn't per se say. I would say go with the bros.
Yeah. But if your partner is into some
action flicks or something like that,
this is perfect.
Even if she just wants to see The Rock, then okay.
I was just about to say that because my mom wanted to see this film just because of him.
The Rock is in it.
Yeah.
It happens, guys. Don't be too jealous.
And somehow he's getting closer to 50, and he
still looks like he's an action figure,
bro. And it was this one scene we talked about where like he was in the shirt and it was a back shot, and it was like, he looks like an 80s, 90s action figure.
Like for real, man. Like his like the back structure is like well put together. Like he equally does both sides.
And his triceps, man. Yo, they say triceps are the most underused part of the body. Not for that man. Not for that man. They are huge.
Yo, them drinks show when he's not even flexing. This man can go like this, and that drink will. Bah! And it's like, dude, what are you doing? But hey, you that dedicated. You can definitely achieve it.
Yes. We're going... Okay, this ain't the Rock show, though. Yeah, we're going to have a different episode for that, saying, where does he have the time to do everything he does? But
Exactly. You know what? Let's not get into that, because it's like, he's about to come out with a whole new movie already.
Bro, he already has a Jumanji sequel set up for 2019.
Like, dude, where do you have the time?
And he has you... Okay. Back to Rampage. Spoilers, so everybody, from here on out, spoilers. Okay, let's dive in, bro. Let's dive in.
All right. Spoiler. How he met Georgie Boy.
Oh, I thought that was surprisingly a very sentimental and emotional part of the film.
Right.
And they actually, because it was halfway through the film, they're slowly building up this relationship that, in my opinion, I believed. And but it makes you think what occurred for Dwayne Johnson to have such a close relationship with this ape, besides it being his job, because it felt more than just a job responsibility.
Yeah, he actually had a friend.
Yes.
A son or something like that.
No, that's actually perfect. And they do a flashback where they actually showed what happened, because, some flashbacks, they just talk about it, and it's like...
They actually showed what happened.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
He used to be in the military, which transferred over to where he what was it specifically? Anti-poacher.
Yeah.
Task force.
Yeah, he's like a animal. What was it, like animal caretaker kind of?
Yeah. And he goes from Africa to Indonesia. He
goes to a lot of foreign places.
Yes, to help poaching and make sure that some species don't go extinct. And one of them was a gorilla situation. This is an albino gorilla, and
if you guys don't know what albino is. He's
white.
All white.
Yeah. And they showed. Not directly, but indirectly, his mother basically being butchered to death.
Mm-hmm.
And then
in front of him.
Yeah, and then Dwayne Johnson implied that this is the main reason why he doesn't trust humans, why he prefers animals, because from the get-go, you could tell if they like you or they don't. And if they don't like you, they're going to kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's that. How did you feel about the villains, bro?
As in, like, the animals?
No. The people. The two people.
Okay, one was just stupid. Like...
They were very generic, right?
Yeah, they were pretty generic. Just regular rich people trying to get richer.
Yeah.
Truthfully. But,
surprisingly, they're siblings, so that's why they had a closer... It was a very dumb CEO, and it turns out that the real CEO of the company was actually his sister, who called all the shots, but I guess they implied that because she's the female... It's easier for, I don't know.
Yeah, one was like more calm and settled and bossy, but know what she's doing.
Yeah, a boss. She was truly a boss. Badass.
The other one is just following the steps, basically, trying to make money.
Yeah. He was, he just falls into the stupid category, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But even though they were generic, they were perfect for the plot of the film, what this film was trying to accomplish. And at the end of the day, they both die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they definitely do. One is more worse than the other.
Yes. Well, is it though? Because
both of them was bad. Don't get me wrong. Both of them was bad, but one was really messed
which
up.
one are you talking about? The sister?
Eaten one.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I can't even say getting eaten.
Swallowed? She was probably
swallowed.
digested, bro.
Yeah, she probably just got
swallowed. Yeah, now thinking about that is
means
worse.
The other one. Yeah.
Bro, slowly dying in a giant ape's belly?
Yeah, that is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And yes, the ape we're talking about is Georgie. Yes, Georgie ate him.
And Georgie boy
ate her. Yo, that I'm not gonna lie, when I heard the name, I was like, oh, this is some it shit, bro.
Oh. Yeah.
Bro.
Hello, Georgie.
Anyway, and then of course in the perfect way to go out, the brother dies in the most stupid way. There's buildings falling around the building he's in, right? And I guess he didn't notice, he didn't care
because he's stupid.
And he just walked out the building and then boom, splat. Yeah, and they actually showed some blood, which was surprising.
Yep, all over the window doors. Splat. It was like a Final Destination thing.
No, exactly, except in a comedic fashion, not a horror sense, you know?
Yeah. It was like, ooh. Like, he planned that for that to happen. Ooh. But, like, other than that, I would think another good one was how they mix the genes for the animals.
That's... Okay, my only problem with that, though, Georgie was the only one who didn't change. He stayed an ape.
He did, yeah, he stayed at 8, but he had, like...
I guess it was just all, like, he's super speed, super
like,
strength.
Good agility.
Yeah.
Speed. He even had, what is it, regeneration.
Yeah, fast recovery.
Fast recovery. So, like, it was, like, him, like, appearance-wise, he was the most normal one.
Even though he's, like, 50 feet tall.
Yeah, like 50 feet tall. King Kong, but white.
No, because when you think about it, they had King Kong and they had Godzilla, which is the crocodile or alligator.
Yeah.
And the alligator had, when he changed, of course, he was the biggest of the three. He was like 100 feet. Mm-hmm. And then he had 2 horns like a bull. Or, I mean, not...
Like a boar.
Boar, yes, boar.
Yeah, like a boar.
And then he had scales and a tail like some animal we can't think of, but the thing we can relate to is the dinosaur.
I'm trying to think of a modern animal
I know, bro.
That tail.
Something has to have it.
No, not a rhino.
We look so dumb right now.
Because it's like the tail. Okay, guys, the tail is like one of the older dinosaurs. It's like it's a spiky tail, but it has a ball, like a rock ball at the end of his tail.
Yeah,
and we both know it's a dinosaur, but what modern animal has that? Is the question.
Without looking online, because we don't know
exactly, because they didn't say that they got any ancient like gene.
Yeah,
they said they just mixed genes from like what animals has it now.
Yeah, they just brought up like a shark. They brought up the bat.
Yeah,
but that's for all of the animals.
Beetle.
Yes, but they implied that that's for all the animals. When it comes specifically, they didn't say.
Yeah, they didn't say.
We just had to assume.
Yeah, with genes they mix. But like the wolf was mixed with like a porcupine
and like
flying squirrel.
Yeah. And then it was just a
gene.
Yeah, a faster, stronger wolf.
It was faster, yeah. But our drink was so weird. The wolf gliding, I should say.
Bro,
like, what the man, like when he hit him with the rocket and they jumped to the window, like to the building, and then jumped in the building and started.
Oh, and then came back like a boomerang.
Yeah, I was like, what the. Bro, scared I would have been seeing a wolf glide towards me.
The only thing though is I wasn't so surprised by that because they hinted at that when they first introduced the wolf. Mm-hmm. Because when he like jumps up at the helicopter, it's like, bro, that wolf is not like easily jumping.
Yeah, he's gliding like yeah. That joint was crazy.
What surprised me is when they entered the city of Chicago and he used his porcupine tail and hit the helicopter.
That came out of nowhere.
It was.
That one we didn't expect at all.
Yeah, like even though we could tell the top part of his fur looked different, it looked very spiky. It was like, okay.
Maybe that's just his fur.
Yeah.
You know,
and then
fur.
And then quickly turned out no,
said, like Wolverine or something, just and then swung his tail. His spikes came out. He's like, what the?
When you think about it, he's the most diverse because he has the speed and strength of a wolf, yet he could glide / fly, and then if he doesn't want to get close to you, he could just attack you from far distance.
Exactly.
It's like, man.
It was crazy. But also the weakest out of the three.
Now, to be fair, if you're putting a wolf against an alligator and a gorilla, that's kind of unfair.
Yeah. But, yeah, that drink was crazy. Like, the alligator was already big, and then he got that stuff into him, and then he just became huge.
Bro, the fact when they showed the George and the alligator together and they made George look somewhat small, I'm like, holy crap.
Exactly. So that means he was already big to begin with.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about the monsters. I'm glad we did that. Just to go into that, the visuals. For the most part, it looked very good for how CGI heavy this film was.
Yeah.
And another thing, the film overall, it looked very cinematic. Mm-hmm. The whatever cameras they were using, the film was high quality, and the entire time I never believed that this was in a studio lot For the most part, it felt like this was actually happening. Even during the Chicago scenes where the buildings were falling down, it was very cinematic. So I really like that. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. The acting was low-key one of the better parts of the film. Like how it would go from comedic to heroic to a little emotional. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Especially with The Rock. Well, The Rock is just a good actor all around.
Yes.
So like everybody else, it was pretty good too.
Yeah, despite my critiques about him in Jumanji, I wasn't the biggest fan.
I wasn't either. Only because he was playing somebody he wasn't.
And you felt like it wasn't natural,
Yeah,
right?
it definitely wasn't.
Okay. This is why you're my brother, bro. I love you.
Yeah, but other than that, if he's playing himself and being something like, of course he's not playing exactly himself, but like being himself into a film, then he's pretty good at that.
And I think he's a good dramatic actor depending on the role. Like some of his dramatic films have been really good compared to what you expect somebody like The Rock. But getting into the action, the last 30 minutes, I thought for the most part it didn't feel like been here done that. I thought they did
did something new.
New, yes. Not quite original, but it felt fresh, which is very hard for films like this. Like, for example, I saw Pacific Rim Uprising. Basically, the entire film felt like a rehash of the
first one.
Yes. But this film, there's been so many video game films. There's been so many films with big monsters fighting each other. I was like, yo, this is original. Talking about the end of the film, bro, how the alligator just rips off the wolf's head.
One bite. That man clenched his jaw.
Yeah.
It was over.
And I loved how they did the build up because the rock fooled the wolf into flying into the alligator, and then the alligator grabbed his neck and started swinging him around. Yeah.
It was pretty sick, but it wasn't too graphic either though, which was okay. So like if a kid seen it, they'd be like, "Oh!"
It was just graphic enough to get kids going, you know, get them interested in the gory stuff.
Too graphic for like blood and gore.
Yeah. And how did you feel about the final fight scene with the alligator and George?
That one, it was more like you couldn't exactly see a lot, but like because it kept going like back and forth to him and then going back to The Rock.
Yeah,
because The Rock was trying to help him so much.
Because George was really, for the most part, getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, like the little parts I did see, it was actually pretty good. George was holding his own. Of course, he was, like we said, much smaller than the alligator. And we all know alligators are strong. So
they actually did the tail whip too at one point.
Did the tail whip. That was pretty crazy. He was basically just on his head, just trying to knock his head in. But I mean,
there was that one scene with the building. How he got the building and started smacking his head.
Smacking his head. Yeah. But I mean, alligators' head are strong. We all know this. Their jaws is huge too. So,
did you believe at any point George was going to die?
I actually did. I'm not gonna lie. But I also like rethought of it because it's like, and then like when he faked it.
You're talking about the beginning of the film, right?
No, the end.
Oh yeah, how he faked his death.
Yeah, but like when I thought he was gonna die, I thought it was like I knew it was like I don't know. It's like at first it didn't make sense because I'm like, if he dies, what is the whole point of that regeneration thing that they was talking about?
No, that's why I didn't believe it. And also, this is what I thought you were getting at. Earlier in the film, very early in the film, he faked being like, because you remember there was that new employee. And he faked like he was about to attack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, George is a big asshole in this movie, guys.
Major, bro.
But it's a funny asshole, not like...
Not the dickhead asshole.
Yeah, he's like a funny asshole.
Comedic.
Yeah. It's a moment in the beginning of the movie where they were supposed to like pound hands. The Rock puts his hands out, he's like, we're cool. And he was like...
Oh, and then they do that at the end of the film too?
Yeah. It was pretty dope.
Which I think also helped build their relationship as this is
for
believable.
Us to get it, us to get it and everything. Like I like how they did that, the relationship between them two. It was pretty dope.
And it makes sense because as you get further into the film, they imply that it's a father-son relationship, and this feels like a father-son relationship.
Yeah, big time. The Rock actually like came through and everything.
And let's talk about the funniest part, bro.
What's up?
The ending where he fakes his death and then he starts moving. He opens one eye.
The Rock starts crying and shit. Like no, and then he like, and he's like, I just saw your eye. I just saw your eye blink. And then he just comes out and just sticks his middle finger up. It's classic.
And then he
starts laughing and shit.
and they also right after that they do a bit where he asks The Rock, so what's going on between you and
is this your friend?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I guess you can say me and her
part of the
friends.
pack.
Yeah, and he's like, ooh.
And you don't need to know sign language
exactly
to know what this means,
yeah.
you know.
So that was pretty funny. She was like, all right, I'm done. And then he was like, yeah, that was pretty funny, man. She's like, I heard that. He's like, oh.
And I want to just point this out, too. I know we're talking a lot about the end of the film, but it's because everything in the first half of the film builds up to the second half. I felt like the characters, for the most part, were like, well... They were written well to where I believed they were somewhat diverse characters because like that one scene, The Rock is acting like, George, what are you talking about? No, we're not fucking, like that's not cool. And then the moment she walks away, that's when he's like, yo, like he had a bromance situation, right? Like
big time.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that was pretty funny, bro. But yeah, that's like something we would actually do in life.
Or what two females would do if a hot guy said something like that, you know?
Right. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
And lastly, just to point him out, the who seemed like a villain at first turned out to actually be a friend. The guy who actually plays
the FBI dude.
Yeah, who's actually in The Walking Dead. Yes.
Plays
Negan or
Negan.
Yeah. I don't know him as an actor. I don't know how his voice normally sounds. I thought he did well.
His voice is actually like that.
Naturally. Oh, it is? Oh, okay. Okay, so he is Southern.
Yeah, and then to me, he always gives me that bad guy vibe only because I did see him in The Walking Dead, but he plays like an asshole in that one also. So it's like I think his characteristic as being an asshole and being that guy.
Yeah,
I think he did that pretty good to me. And it's like in this movie, he does it like this kind of the same thing. So I think he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah,
in that aspect of it.
But to distinguish, I would say The Walking Dead, he's the dickhead asshole, and this is more so
a heroic dickhead.
Yeah, or a heroic asshole. Where it's like, yes, he's an asshole, but that's more so a personality trait rather than being overall.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay, so if you could come away with one thing from this video, we would say Dwayne Johnson and Brad Payton delivered yet another entertaining film. If you were a fan of any kind of the video game, we think you will truly enjoy this. And as most people are saying, critics and viewers, I think this is the best video game film, bro. Where do you fall on that?
Now, well, I can't personally actually say that because I don't really know too much about the game. So I personally won't say it's a video game movie good, like
a good adaptation.
Yeah, so I can't say that, but I will look it up and I'll come back to that.
But from a quality it
was pretty good. It was pretty excellent, actually.
Of course, I'm a sucker for the Assassin's Creed film, but everybody says that film sucks, so what do I know? I just gotta get that out there.
Right.
Viewer warning. But I really enjoyed it. This is Dwayne Johnson at his best. And by the way, Naomi Harris did not have the girlfriend role. She did not have the wife role. She had a strong character, retroactively speaking, or
she came in from a
crappy situation.
Yeah, basically,
and she
just played her role.
Yeah, and even at the end of the film, she never went to the girlfriend role. So that's awesome, and that's all we have to say. Unless you want to say anything else, bro.
Nope, that was pretty good.
Okay,
pretty good together.
So I personally think if you have the chance, see this in film. I mean, I said see this in film. See this in theaters because this is the type of film to see in theaters on the biggest screen possible, biggest audio. And if you want to see, if you have a family, go see it with the family. I am pretty sure that they will enjoy this, especially the kids. This is a perfect film for the kids.
Definitely. Seen a big old gorilla and a big old wolf fighting.
And an alligator. Don't forget that alligator, bro.
Yeah, that big monster chomper.
And when you have Dwayne Johnson in any film, it's almost always guaranteed to please the kids.
Exactly.
Well, in this type of blockbuster film.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys. We hope to see you for the next impressions, which, technically speaking, is going to be real soon because Avengers is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
When we're going to see it, who knows?
That's debatable. That's definitely debatable. Because first day, I'm pretty sure everybody knows this. First day is going to be sold out. And that weekend is going to be sold out.
I was about to say that.
Who knows?
We don't know where most of our fans are from Buffalo, but if you're not from Buffalo, basically every theater in Buffalo, the first weekend, unless you're sitting in the crappy front row seats, sold out. Dunzo. And you know Tuesday's going to be sold
Unless you
out,
go
bro.
extremely early. Unless you do that.
Yo, but Jordan said, he said like every single showtime at the Elmwood. And you know the Elmwood is less busy than the Galley, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
If you want to watch that movie, you might have to take a trip down to Transit. Okay?
Who wants to do that, bro?
You might even have to go even further. I'm serious.
That's dedication, though, if you do that.
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
So good luck.
All right, good luck. Have a great day. If you're in Buffalo, we've been having a great week in terms of the temperature. It's raining right now, but hey, what are you going to do?
It's
better than snow. Jinx, bro. All right. Signing out, Francis Mandrala.
The Don Dada of all Dons.
And Rhinos and Aliens, LLPH.
You already know, baby. Mwah.